What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I, of course, am from the WiseTake Nation, which you could find on all the social media platforms listed above, directly at WiseTake.com if you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level. We are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out. Day Pass is available if you want to try us out. That being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome. You come to the right place with some free fire DFS content. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Currently covering slates Monday through Friday, meaning we stream live Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look right here. And don't forget, NFL is around the corner. Excited to do that. We do NBA, everything. So no reason for you not to subscribe with notifications bell. Clicked on. And please hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. The likes really help us out. Allow us to continue to do what we do, which is do dirties, right, on YouTube. And share, comment, all that good shit. Love hearing back. Love hearing the feedback from y'all, whether it's about the slate, your thoughts on the slate, whether it's about the show itself. Always love hearing it. Positive and negative, man. Straight up. Pat Bush, what's going on, bro? I see our man Pat, my man Pat, in the chat. Says, what's up, CK? Hope you had a good weekend. I did. My weekend was okay. I'm ready for a new week of MLB DFS. I'm definitely ready for a new week. Last week was kind of up and down for me personally. The weekend, more of the same, kind of up and down. Had one really good night, then had a really bad night. Just kind of alternating. I've been stuck in the pivot. I've been making a lot of last minute mistakes. And that's not something I usually do. Don't get me wrong. I make decisions. I make switches. But my instinct has been better than my brain, I guess. Overthinking things. I've had a few slates in a row, even on Saturday, the early slate, where I kind of pivoted off stuff that would have really been lucrative and just kind of made some last minute decisions and made the wrong decisions last minute. So had a few of those. Leonard, what's going on, man? Leonard says he had a great day, 10 for 10 in cash games, won a GPP late, lost the day slate tourney, man. That's what's up, Leonard, man. Love seeing my people have success. I do. And I have seen Pat and Leonard in the Slack chat putting in that work. It's always good to see. Hopefully we get more of you in there. All right, so we've got, what's this, a 7-game slate to get into. So we'll go ahead and start with top pitching like we always do. Remember, this is post-trade deadline. We've had a lot of crazy trades go down. I'm not going to sit here and discuss all of them. There was just a lot of madness and shit. We will discuss the ones that come up. Full disclosure, it is 10:14 p.m. Eastern. So these are the pitchers that we have listed at the moment. We are still missing pitchers from two teams. That is the Angels and that is the Marlins. As of this time, again, it is Sunday night, 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Just keep that in mind. That being said, what we have to work with, Tyler, that's right, not Tyler, Tyler McGill, 27% K rate in his young MLB career, 3.77 SIERA, 3.89 xFIP. Gets a good park out in Miami, good opponent against the Miami Marlins. Let's see if we can find Miami on this list. Miami currently a 25% K rate against righties with a 139 ISO at 298 WOBA and a 90 WRC plus. I think he'll be pretty popular. And let's be honest, he's been pretty good. So I think he should be the cash game SP1. Some people may elect to go with Desclafani, who's a little bit more of a name. His numbers aren't as good as McGill, but he's done this a lot longer, right? And had a lot more consistency than we've seen. He gets to face an Arizona team that has a lot of lefties, man. Even with all the trades, they got Kohal Kuhn, Peralta. There's a lot of that. Jonathan Adams, what's going on, bro? Weekend was good. Appreciate you. Hope your weekend was good. It says on a 5-day heater. You've been on a heater, man. Yes, you have. You've been on a heater. Every time you've been posting what your lineup was in the chat, it was like the nuts that day. So shout out to you, bro. Keep grinding with the nation. But yeah, the D-backs are pretty bad offensively, and they got rid of Eduardo Escobar, becoming slightly worse. They have a 24% K rate, a 134 ISO, 293 WOBA, 80 WRC plus, yada 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 yada. Desclafani's coming off of an ass whooping by the Dodgers, which you kind of had coming. But I can see some people being okay with it. Just keep in mind, Desclafani over his career has struggled with lefties. Arizona's got a bad team, but they do have a lot of lefties. Throwing that out there. But pitching sucks on this slate. So he's definitely probably listed at the S. If people go with McGill as the SP1 in cash, I think Desclafani is like the alternative. That's how shitty this slate is. Eric Lauer against Pittsburgh. He's at home. Numbers aren't pathetic, but numbers aren't great. Pittsburgh, however, is dead last in WRC plus against lefties with an 81 WRC plus, a 291 WOBA, a 123 ISO, only a 22% K rate, but that's kind of like Lauer's thing anyway. He's not a huge strikeout guy. He does like to pitch to contact. Andrew Heaney is he's the one you really got to make a decision on. I do think Andrew Heaney will be popular against Baltimore. ERA of 5.27. Huge park downgrade for the rest of the season for him, right? He was pitching out there in Los Angeles, whatever, for the Angels. Now his home park is Yankee Stadium, which this game is in Yankee Stadium. Tough. I mean, the whole NL East, the whole AL East has good parks, except for Tampa, right? For hitting. So Heaney's got a 28% K rate, which is the best on the slate. We've been talking about how he's got positive aggression. Should be coming his way. We've started to see it. Right, I think he's had 3 out of his last 4 games were respectable, and his last 2 games, he ended up with a really positive score, despite giving up 2 and 3 earned runs in each of those games. But he's going to be, I think, a very popular play. He's playing Baltimore, a team that is not good, but a team that has hit lefties well. At least in terms of WRC plus, not from my ISO perspective, 168 is not anything to brag about, but a 109 WRC plus and only a 21.8% K rate, so it should be interesting. That's going to be something you got to make a decision on, because I think a lot of people will like to go with Heaney as an SP2 on DraftKings, and I think that on FanDuel at 7.6, people may try to do that and load up on bats. So you got to keep that in mind. Yeah, Leonard, exactly. Always hit lefties well, but I think I'm playing it with ownership, right? If Heaney ends up as popular as I think he's going to be, I'm gonna have to take some stabs at Oakland, right? But if Heaney goes under the radar, I'll go overweight. It is what it is. I added Michael Waka to the list. Michael Waka. I'm not a fan of Michael Waka. He is a veteran, and he managed to keep his career alive this long, coming off of a really fucking good game. Does anybody so after giving up 2 home runs to Baltimore, 3 earned runs total, and only striking out 2 through 5 innings, Baltimore. He faced the Yankees, struck out 9 Yankees. This is pre-trade deadline. They didn't have Rizzo or Gallo yet. Struck out 9 Yankees in 5 innings, only gave up 1 run, and it wasn't even earned. Just dominated them. And now he's playing Seattle, who happens to be one of the hotter teams in the game right now. Seattle's numbers are pathetic. On the season, 25.9%. Strikeout rate to righties, 157 ISO, 298 WOBA, 92 WRC plus. But they have been playing better lately. Problem is, do you trust Michael Waka? He is at home in Tampa. Really good pitcher's park. Do you trust Michael Waka? And I want to say no, but I don't have a ton of alternatives. So maybe we at least keep him on the list as a maybe. It is in Tampa. Leonard says Waka stunk last time I used him. I don't remember the last time I used him. So I certainly didn't have him that day against the Yankees. I can tell you that. Top offenses. Speaking of the Yankees should be pretty popular at home. With their new toys, Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo have a couple power lefties out for that short porch in right field. They are at home against Jorge Lopez, whose numbers say that he's due for some improvement. BABIP is really high at 357. XFIP and Sierra are they're not good, but they're significantly lower than a 6.119 ERA. Yankees been striking out a lot, but this is tough, right? You at least gotta like a mini stack of the Yankees, man. But as far as popularity, I do think the Yankees will be the most popular stack. Next most popular stack, and rightfully so, is going. I think the Brewers. Brewers have been pretty hot. They've had 2 bad games in a row as far as offense goes. But they will be playing Bryce Wilson, who is probably Atlanta's worst pitcher, period. He hasn't started in a while because his starts this year have been horrendous. You can see it by his numbers. Everything about him is pretty bad. Last time he pitched was July 26th. Wasn't awful. Went 3 innings, 2 strikeouts. That was against the Mets. Prior to that, he hadn't pitched since June 20th. 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 Ks, 65 pitches. That was against Atlanta. He did have 1 good game against Atlanta, but actually 2 good games against Atlanta. But either way, I think the Brewers are going to be pretty popular. They're heating up. They're playing hot, playing a spy, whatever, and rightfully so. Right. The Rays against Chris Flexen. We know the Rays strike out a ton. That's kind of their deal. But they do have the 4th highest, tied for the 4th highest WRC plus in the league. If you notice, them and the Giants are very similar, and they both are division leaders right now. Both have a 110 WRC plus against righties. ISOs are solid. Strikeout rates are high. But that's the problem with the Rays. Good of an offense they have, they strike out a lot. Luckily for them, Chris Flexen is not that big of a strikeout guy. 15.5% K rate currently on the season. So I do like Tampa, and I expect other people to notice. Josiah Gray, I saw some of you on the chat. I think Leonard talked about. Okay, yeah. Josiah Gray. Leonard says his last debut, we're calling it a Gray Butte. Leonard says, Leonard is a Nat fan, I believe, right? Nationals fan. Josiah Gray in his last debut, as we were calling a Gray Butte. I'm assuming you are, right? You're saying we. Saying we. I don't think you're French. I'm assuming. Just kidding, Leonard. Yeah. Josiah Gray. We don't have a ton of information on him. I did look him up. Yeah, he hasn't pitched much. Didn't pitch much in the minors recently. I think he's coming back from an injury. What I've seen is that this season he's been very homer prone. And if we look at his hard contact rate of 47%, his fly ball rate of 52.9%, kind of get it. Phillies are playing motivated. I believe they're in second place right now in the NL East behind the Mets. And they're not that far behind the Mets, who are also struggling. I think Philly's offense is highly in play, especially if we get some cooperative weather, which sometimes we know in the Northeast, especially in that Washington-Baltimore area, we can get some really positive hitting weather. So keep an eye out on that, but I expect Philly to get some love because of it. And then the Giants, right? The Giants against Taylor Widener. XFIP 5.32, Sierra 4.8, not good. Fly ball rate 47%, not good. Hard contact rate 44%, not good. We looked at the Giants along with the Rays, 2 of the better offenses in the league against righties. I mean, what's not to like? You tell me, what's not to like? So yeah, those offenses stand out the most. I tried to do them today in order of what I expect the popularity to be, but we'll see. Things to watch. This is a little bit different. It's a small slate, so I covered a lot of it in the first 2 segments, but we have a couple things to watch. Number 1 is Ohtani pitching. So DraftKings, I saw like Leonard and Pat both hit me up in the Slack. I was reading the messages as I was setting up, and I figured I would just answer it. I figured you guys would be at the show, so I'd answer there. A lot of you have already gotten answers. I know Leonard was saying that he reached out to DraftKings and they told him. So MLB Probables does not have a pitcher for the Angels at the moment, meaning the Angels haven't submitted who their pitcher is going to be. Ohtani is due, so everybody's assuming it's Ohtani, and obviously, if it is Ohtani, he becomes your chalky SP1. Ownership on Tyler McGill falls. Ownership on Heaney maybe falls a little bit. Desclafani falls, if that happens, and obviously he's fucking good, so that would definitely be, and they're playing Texas too, so there you go. Keep an eye out for Ohtani. Marlins don't have a pitcher submitted either as of now, but they did trade for Jesus Luzardo, who could end up making his debut. He's got a cheap price on DraftKings at 6.9. We'll have to see if he is in Good Park. He's against the Mets, who have some lefty mashers, but the Mets have been struggling a little bit. And again, it's a very good pitching park. I think Luzardo is a very solid pitcher. I see Sean V was talking about him as well. So that's the second thing to watch. Who's Miami's pitcher? If it's Luzardo, definitely interested in that, at least to some degree. And then Dane Duning, just to number 3 it. Duning, man, numbers remain solid. He's playing the Angels, who have been striking out a ton lately. he's very cheap. But if we get Luzardo, between Luzardo, Heaney, all these other guys, he ain't going to get no attention. So curious to see how that matchup goes, because Duning's numbers remain solid. Looks like he's been a little unlucky with the ball put into play. Dong watch, and we're out of here. I'm going Eduardo Escobar, number 1. Eduardo Escobar, number 1. Anthony Rizzo, number 2, in the short porch. She's going to hit a homer in Yankee Stadium. And Mike Yastrzemski for the Giants. That's right. Mike Yastrzemski. This should be an interesting slate. Pitching, you got to figure that shit out. We need to know if Ohtani's the one. We need to know if Luzardo's in. We got to see what the pool is to work with. But there's actually a few different offenses to like, right? So we'll have to see what it looks like. Anyway, Nation, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out today. With me. Appreciate those of you in the chat bumping it. Sean V, shout out to you, man. I see you in there mixing it up with everybody. Pat Bush, Leonard, all you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me live, and I appreciate those of you who take the time to watch after the fact as well. Please share the show. Don't forget the like button on your way out. Definitely into I'll be writing the article. I'll be starting it once we get off the show and kind of tweaking it as we go tomorrow. But I think it's a pretty good slate, man. I'm hoping somebody at the WiseTake Nation can make some money. That being said, for myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.